Hello fellow airplane collectors, welcome back to another video. It's your host Ray. Today I'll be doing an unboxing and review of the Delta Airlines Airbus A321 in 1:400 scale made by NG Model. This is one of the 3 models I received as a result of a Cyber Monday deal. I ended up buying 3 models and this was one of them. I was pretty excited about this one. I opened it earlier and there was no issues with it. It didn't arrive broken, so that's pretty cool. So let's jump right into it. So first you got the box, pretty good box art. You've got the huge Delta logo in the background behind the computer-generated image of the airplane. I'll bring that up close to you guys so you can observe it. It's a pretty good computer-generated image, represents most of the details that are included in the model itself, which is quite nice. You've got your Delta logo here, your registration, which is November 339, and I forgot what the D was, November. Then you've got your NG model logo and 1:400 scale collectible models die-cast metal. So yeah, that's that. Here's the bottom. Here's your right side. Here's the top, which is identical to the bottom. And here's your left side, which is identical to the right side. Pretty simplistic packaging. I like how they did that. Here's the back of the box, basically the same thing as the front, except instead of the Delta logo and all the airplane information, you've got their social medias, website, item number, and all the other legal information. So that's quite nice. Now let's open up the model. Yep, it even came with this little styrofoam covering, which I'm not sure if that's typical of NG or if that was from where I bought it from, but yeah, that's cool. I'll discard that. And here's the model. This is how it's packaged in clear plastic. Nose is pointing upwards, which is quite nice. And I'll extract it. Please bear in mind that on this particular model, it was very hard. It's very hard to remove the packaging, so be careful with it when you're trying to unbox it so you don't end up damaging and or breaking the model. I'm not sure if this applies to other NG models, other NG A321s, but it certainly did apply to this one, so that's that. Now here is the model. Looks pretty nice. So here's the model. I'll give you guys a quick 360 before I go into an in-depth review. Or I'll at least try to do a 360 without covering everything. So there was your 360. Overall, it's a pretty detailed model. The mold is absolutely amazing. For those of you who are a bit picky about your models, I definitely recommend getting this one over the Gemini Jets version. Jeez, I cannot say that word correctly today. Due to the nose mold being a lot better and the engines being correctly sized. Also, the gear are guaranteed to roll on this model, while on the Gemini model, the gears sometimes end up stiff or even don't roll at all, so just be careful with that. Another detail that a lot of modelers, myself included, that we are a little bit nitpicky about and annoyed with is wing flex, and the wing flex on this model is perfect. All angles seem good. There's no bends. Everything is straight and where it should be. There was the front of the aircraft. I'll try and get the rear of the aircraft for you. Yep, there's that. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. Please excuse me if it gets a little bit dark at times because that's my head covering the light to prevent the glare. So if I don't screw this up, you can see the SkyTeam logo right there, L1 door, a ton of detail on that. Some of that I can't even see with my own eye. Is that I believe that's a detail or that's a stain. I'm not sure what that is, that little orange piece at the top of the screen. Now it's right here. Got your Delta title, looks good. Up here at the cockpit and the nose, everything looks all right. So move down the aircraft, you just got more details. Now up to your engines. The engines look really good, and you might not be able to see this right now, but I'll point this out later. the engine exhausts actually have the little chevrons or little pointed tips to reduce noise. I believe that's what they're for. So that's cool. There's the inside of there's the fan. Looks good. Ooh, I'm still impressed at how detailed this is. Like, there's so much detail. Here's the top of the wing. No issues whatsoever on that. Now, here's the winglet. I'm a little bit dissatisfied with it, just slightly, not as much. Since one, it's angled back, like, it's not angled back as much as I think it should be. And the top part here is a little bit rounded, as well as, I mean, it's almost pointing straight upwards. I think that's how it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look the best in my opinion. But it's not a complaint either. It's just something I wanted to point out. Yep, there's the rest of the airplane. There's your tail. The tail looks really good. You can see even the details and indents there, so that's nice. And the other side of the aircraft is basically a duplicate of the first side. Here's the tail on the other side if you guys want to see that. And there's a little bit of dust here and there from when I opened it at first. And yeah, that's pretty good. I completely forgot to point out the exhaust and APU. That looks so much better than the Gemini Jets version. I just want to point out there's even a little hole where the APU is supposed to be, which is pretty cool. Style points, I guess. Here's what the top of the model looks like. Here's what the bottom of the model looks like. A lot of detail there. I'll show you the landing gear real quick if my camera can focus. There you go. Landing gear looks good. There's the huge Delta logo, except it's being impaled by a display stand hole. Yep, you've got rolling tires. All of them roll really smooth. And there's the little engine chevrons I was pointing out earlier, the little points at the back ends of the exhaust. So that's a really cool feature. I'm glad that they added that. As I mentioned before, the gear roll freely and the plane moves in a straight line. There's no inconsistencies and it feels pretty durable. And last and certainly not least, the gate test. This is what the model looks like, propped up with some Gemini Jets narrow-body jet bridges. For those of you who have an airport and are curious about this, I do this at the end of my videos to show what the airplane looks like on a gate. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're considering buying this model, I highly recommend getting it now. It's a little bit later in the production run for these, so I think these are going out of stock fairly quickly. So buy yours while you still can. And if you're watching this a few years later, it's already out of stock and it's probably hard to find. So, God, if you hear that, it's my dog barking. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more model airplane videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.